Deep in the forest of eastern Burma, at least 20,000 villagers from the Karen ethnic minority are fleeing some of the worst attacks in 10 years by the military dictatorship that rules Burma. Over 1 million people across Burma have been displaced by continual violence over the past 2 decades. "3,000 villages in eastern Burma have been destroyed, forcibly relocated or abandoned in the past 10 years, nearly one every day, as part of a brutal campaign of repression and counterinsurgency. The repressive policies of the Burma regime have created massive refugee flows, half a century of internal conflict, and widespread human rights abuses. The continual violence and instability pose a threat to regional peace and security in the heart of Southeast Asia.
Thailand is one of the countries which is most aware of the issues of the threat that the military regime in Burma poses to the whole region and to regional security. As has already been mentioned by my colleague in Indonesia, there are at least 3 million official and unofficial refugees in the region, Burmese refugees in the region. But within Burma itself, there are at least 1 million displaced peoples.
In November 2005, at the start of the dry season, the Burmese army launched a series of deadly offensives against ethnic Karen areas in eastern Burma. These attacks have continued through the rainy season, displacing at least 20,000 people and leaving villagers with no opportunity to tend their crops. Consequently, they are likely to face food shortages for years to come. The situation in Burma echoes that of the world's worst disaster zones. Child mortality figures in eastern Burma are similar to the war crisis in Africa. 1 in 5 children dies before their 5th birthday. This is a direct consequence of the action of the military government of Burma. On the run, villagers live in constant fear and with no security. Discovery by the Burmese army can mean forced labor, forced relocation, and even execution. Women and girls face the threat of rape, with cases widely documented in this area. This man was forced to work as a porter, then executed.
ata chok mo khunu ko ko ga de la ko ni mita ko ra khele bo do ma lo.
Even if they do return to their villages to scavenge for what they can, they risk stabbing on the mines laid by the Burmese army.
Cái phê khứ đây là bây giờ mà vào chứ.
Nè, bây giờ xin thi bảo ta có ta kem đi từ bài.
Anh làm thi bảo là ai ra bây giờ là phố Hà Nội bên này khu ở bên này. Ai ra bên đâu rồi? Bên này là khu bên này chào khu ở bên mình này ham mà phải.
Faced with no alternative, many villagers set off for the relative safety of the border and dependence of the tolerance of neighboring Thailand. (3,500) villagers have decided to flee to Meramat Luang, a refugee camp along the Thai-Burma border. Over 1,000 are already waiting on the banks of the Salawi River on the Burmese side of the border. Many more will flee as the attacks in eastern Burma continue. The people of Burma have faced over 40 years of brutal repression. In 1997, the year Burma joined ASEAN, there were 210,000 refugees and asylum seekers in neighboring countries. Today, almost 750,000 live as refugees, 500,000 more are displaced in Burma, and 1 million may live as undocumented migrants in Thailand alone. As Burma spirals into ever deeper repression, poverty and health crisis, the people of Burma ask that their region and the world recognize that international action is needed to ensure an end to human rights abuses, adequate humanitarian aid, and a political solution.
I would like to see a stronger ASEAN. ASEAN with more teeth, more like a tiger, fighting for democracy, fighting for human rights, ensuring that it takes an active hand in trying to seek some kind of a binding resolution.
We have a principle of non-interference, but let's say if you have neighbor and your neighbor put on fire on their own house and the house has been destroyed and will spill over to our house, of course we have to prevent that the house will not spill over to anywhere, and of course if possible we put down the house, the fire on the house.